I really feel the same way. I'm like, I don't want to say that Biden's winning, or is losing, but that is kind of what I unfortunately feel like I'm witnessing here.
That Republican convention.
It was, I mean, honestly, it was incredible. It was incredible. And it's so funny how I guess the RNC has no policy plank this year. They're not changing it. They didn't change it.
That almost is like brilliant to me. It's so funny. They have had the presidency and they're like, our platform is the same. It's actually like, it's so brazen. I can't even believe it.
So great.
Listening to the convention, the way they talked, they had all these policies.
Right.
And he had all these policies going. The one that I love is after he has worked so hard to get rid of Obamacare, how he talks about how he's the great protector of insurance for pre-existing conditions.
Well, yeah, I mean, but exactly. They don't talk. They say that they're not changing the platform, but they talk about the policy because they had policy last time and they have policy now and they lie about it. But it's also, some of it is just actually, part of it is when it's true. That's part of the scary part, is when it's the true stuff.
That's right. They have just enough truth.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, but also the guy is a genius. I'm sorry, I know that he's obviously a xenophobe and totally anti-immigrant. When he naturalized 5 citizens in a convention, that was like television genius.
Well, this guy's a television producer genius. That's really the truth. Yeah.
Also, it's magic tricks. It's sleight of hand. Show one Black woman whose life you've helped.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
And then everybody's going to forget what he does to actually Black people in America.
Right.
Of course. Like total tokenizing. Yeah. I mean, ridiculous. But it was kind of amazing to watch that. I was like, what? That is a great idea.
And also all that kind of stuff, breaks the rules of norms and traditions. And you see all the liberals being like, that's not allowed. And you're like, well, it happened. So I guess it was allowed.
Right.
I guess it was allowed.
Establishment needs to get this. The fact that it's illegal does not matter anymore.
Yeah. Laws are like not for everybody, but laws are done right now.
Yes, he can.
Well, that's the thing. Even with the big thing with his last speech on the White House lawn, they're all like, "This is a Hatch Act violation." I'm like, "Well, somebody call 911."
Yeah, I know.
And that it has far more dangerous consequences than just whether or not he uses the White House as a prop.
Right.
It has to do with the Postal Service and dismantling election, whether it has to do with this newest thing with national intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And he's literally purging the government of anyone except those whose deference is to his will, as opposed to serving the law of the United States. This is why we must deny him a second term.
What I fear, Marianne, is that I'm just like, we all see this happening, and I just fear that the Democrats, like, who is going to stop him? I fear that they are like too weak to stop him.
Well, I ran, and it was like watching a car crash in slow motion.
Yeah, the worry, we can all do our best, but there's a lot of worrisome stuff going on. Even with the post office, you're like, everybody notices this happening. All the senators are tweeting out like, he's doing this. And I'm like, can somebody please do something about it?
I have a question about that, because I have some confusion about that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there more that the Democrats could do?
You feel like they could, yeah. They're calling people for hearings, but you feel like they could do more.
Yeah, and it is true how the things that they choose to focus on, it is stunning. Like the Hatch Act, or the fact that Pompeo spoke at it in Jerusalem. It's like, do you honestly think a single Trump supporter
or
the unmotivated base, like, forget converting people?
Also, I'm sorry.
No.
Well, it's easy to counter also, because they say, well, the RNC didn't, the RNC paid for that part or whatever.
Right.
But I don't see it as that much different than how ridiculously atonal it was to base their impeachment proceedings on Ukraine.
And this this narrow Hunter Biden focused impeachment.
Very legalistic.
That they never brought up. By the way, that was never brought up once at the whole DNC. They never said this is an impeached president.
Right.
They went through the impeachment, but we don't even ever say it.
They did not prosecute a case against him. If ever there was a prosecutable president.
Yeah.
They didn't go there because they don't want to offend John Kasich or Susan Whitman.